In this video, we'll be dissecting a sheep's brain, and first we're gonna go over some of the parts of it. So this whole part right here is the cerebellum, and right in the front is your frontal lobe, as well as your temporal lobes and your parietal lobes right in the back, and then the back part is the occipital lobe. And the easy way to remember it is that every lobe is just about where the bones in the skull are. So like the frontal is your front bone, and your parietal are the sides, and temporals are the lower sides, and occipital is the back. The spinal cord is this part down here, which attaches to the spinal cord, as well as the medulla, which is right here at the base of the brain, pretty much at the end of the spinal cord. And the pons are down here in the middle on the inside, as well as the hypothalamus, which is right about here in the middle. And we're gonna go ahead and cut it open and show some more. We're gonna do a cut right down the middle. This one is much easier to cut through than the other part so far. And then in this part of the brain, so the hypothalamus is right about here, and right above it is the thalamus. So hypothalamus, thalamus, as well as the olfactory bulb, which is right here as well. The medulla, as I was talking about earlier, is going to be right here, right here, just about at the end of the spinal cord. Your arbor vitae comes up, and it looks like the little branches in the back of your occipital lobe. The superior calicus is one of these little valleys right through here. You can tell, and the inferior calicus is right below it in this little valley right down here in the middle. The pineal gland is also going to be right by the inferior calicus, and it's this little bulb right here. The sulcus is right up here on the parietal lobe part of your brain, as well as the gyrus. So the gyrus and the sulcus are right next to each other up here in the parietal part of your brain. Let's go ahead and start explaining what they are. So the occipital, which is back here, controls your vision, and your temporal, the hearing. So the temporal is right about here, and this is what helps your hearing. In your parietal, which is the top rear, is going to be for your sensory reception. It's like your sensory cortex. The frontal, which is the top part in the front, is your motor cortex, which is your voluntary motor function for muscle movement. The corpus callosum connects the left and right hemisphere. So that one, the corpus callosum that connects, is right in here, right in the middle. As well as the central sulcus, which again is right in here, separates the frontal and the parietal lobe. The sulci divides the brain and increases the surface area. And the sulca is right here. The pineal gland which produces serotonin and melatonin, is going to be right in here. It's this bulb. And the hypothalamus, which controls your ANS and establishes your sleep patterns, is right here. Your thalamus is what is your emotional and memory functions. Your midbrain connects your hindbrain and your forebrain. It has your cerebral pedicle in it, and as well as and it anchors the cerebrum and brainstem. The pons, or which relay sensory, they relay sensory information between the cerebellum and the cerebrum. And the ventricles, there's different ventricles inside of your brain that secrete and house CSF through the choroid plexus. And the hindbrain conducts the locomotion, conduction, and your reflexes. And your spinal cord sends the information to and from the brain, as well as the medulla oblongata, which controls vital sensors.